Do you know who knows a lot about pitching?
Who?
The broadcaster for the Baltimore Orioles, a guy who might have won a Cy Young, had some 20-win seasons, and now he's saying that Brandon Hyde should have been fired, which I disagree with. But before you hear my thoughts, I want to hear the great David Aardsma.
Should he have been fired? Man, this is the tough question. I'm going to go with yes. I believe Brandon Hyde should have been fired.
Wow. Okay. Hot take there. I did not expect that.
I would have given a little bit more time, but the course this team was going on, and it is not his fault, but he needed to be fired.
So the guy
very clear, it wasn't his fault.
Okay.
But he needed to be fired.
But Mike Elias, the guy who built that team,
and that's his fault. It is Mike Elias' fault.
Gave him that garbage team. Well, not garbage, but subpar team compared to what they were last year. Instead of firing himself or getting fired, he said, ooh, I'm going to use Brandon Hyde as a scapegoat, so maybe I can keep my job a little longer. I am furious with the fact this guy got fired. Was he the one who decided that instead of trying really hard to re-sign Corbin Burns, I'm going to get Shigano and I'm going to get who's the kid that they just cut that they signed for $6 million? The starting pitcher. Oh man, I'm having a mental fart right now.
That happens.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, the bottom line is, and I'm sure you're going to look it up. The bottom line is that Brandon Hyde didn't sign Kyle Gibson. He wasn't the one who signed Kyle Gibson instead of Corbin Burns. He didn't bring an older pitcher from another league into Major League Baseball in Shigano, who's pitched pretty well. He wasn't
really well.
That.
Oh, stop bringing up Sagano's name. He's the one killing it. He's got 3 right now.
He's fine, but can you imagine having Shigano and Corbin Burns?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Can you imagine if their big bat that they brought in, Tyler O'Neill, was Anthony Santander instead, who had 40 home runs last year that you never even heard that they were going after him? Is that Brandon Hyde's fault? No, that's all the GM's fault. How in the hell is he keeping his job? And we're saying, oh, yeah, Brandon Hyde, sorry, sucks to be you. The guy was the manager of the year.
Yes, his manager of the year had done an incredible job. So this is why I'm looking at this. He is the captain of the ship. Now, there's a general manager that puts this team together, but he's the captain of the ship. He is the one creating direction. He is the one talking to the players in the locker room every single day. He's talking to the GM every single day. He is creating a culture. And when you go out and just play like absolute crap, you're 15-31. You've missed 2 pieces, Anthony Santander and Corbin Burns. And then you go out, and I get it. There's players you've signed. You've gone out. You got Sagano, right? Charlie Morton. Let's not forget about Charlie Morton. When you have a guy like Kyle Bradish gets hurt, Grayson Rodriguez gets hurt, your entire Tyler O'Neill now is hurt, and Tyler O'Neill that's a signing, but you don't bring back Santander.
Gunnar Henderson didn't start the season healthy.
Henderson didn't start the season healthy, yes. But you bring back Felix Bautista, who didn't start out well, but now is playing very, very, very good. When you go out there and you bring in your young rookies in a Jackson Holiday, who is finally starting to turn it around and starting to play well, right? So there's been a whole lot of things going on. Like Mountcastle has sucked. Gunnar Henderson has not been playing well. When you're looking at this, there's a lot of guys that have not been playing well. Okay. You're the captain. You choose the direction. You're talking to these guys. They have to believe in you no matter what roster you throw up there. And this roster is not a 15-31 roster. Without Santander, without Corbin Burns and Santander, they go from the best team in the East to the worst team by far, no one worse. And they're borderline worse in the league if there was not a team called the White Sox or the Rockies around, worse than baseball. So we're going from that to this. That's my problem. That has a repercussion behind it. And no matter what, Michael Elias did not bring back Santander, did not bring back Corbin Burns, who are just the two studs. Easily should have. This team should have at least have 21 wins right now.
Okay.
They're 15-30. There's no excuse for that. I think Brandon Hyde is a great manager. I actually believe in him. I think it was a little too early. At the same time, I completely understand because they're hearing that voice every day, and that voice is not resonating for the roster they have. This roster right now would be last place in almost every single division of baseball. When you're playing that bad, you have to change up the voice. And that doesn't mean that it's necessarily his fault that they're not winning the division and they're not the best team in the American League. That's a Mike Elias's fault. But they're worse, and it's not because of Mike Elias. And that's what I have to. They did not make Mike Elias and not bringing back Santander and believing in his rookies and not bring back Corbin Burns, but bringing in a Sagano who's actually pitching just as good as Corbin Burns did last year. That's not on Mike Elias, at least at the point of them going to last place. 15-30 is not Mike Elias. 20-20 is Mike Elias. I give him 20-20. I give him 500. This is a 500 roster. They're not a 15-31.
There are a couple of things that I want to talk about when it comes to this. The first being, we are in this age of sabermetricians, and we have heard a lot that the manager isn't that important anymore, and in most cases, it's the front office that is telling the managers who to play, what to do.
100%. It is the front office.
Okay, so if the front office is telling you who to play and what to do, and they are not producing on the field...
Don't go down this road, because I have an answer for you. I have an answer for you.
Please, that's what I want to know. What's the answer?
Because they're the manager. They speak to the players. They rally the troops. They are the people person. That's the difference. So managers have shifted from in-game management and being a dickhead to everybody to not in-game management. They are the guy that everybody looks to and says, I want to have a beer with you. I need to talk to you about my life. I need to get my head straight. I want to get back on track. That stuff didn't happen back in the day. Nobody talked to the manager. You didn't talk. You didn't hang out with the manager and, hey, man, let's talk about, like, man, why am I struggling right now? The managers tell you, F you, get the F out of my office. You figure it out. I write the lineup, and that's literally what managers would tell players. I write the lineup. You worry about that.
So
and now that's shifted. They don't need to write the lineup. They need to take care of those players, 26 men in that locker room. That's why you have ex-players now becoming managers again, because they don't need to know about sabermetrics. They don't need to know all that data. That's all made up for them. That's why you have all those guys. What they need to do is have 26 guys in that lineup with one common goal, one culture, one road, and you keep them on that path. And so when you have a team that goes from first place to last place and you're only missing 2 players and you still brought in some good players, then you have to look at, okay, who's driving this ship, and do these guys believe in that guy? They need to hear a new voice. And that's why they're making the move. It's still not his fault, but they need to hear a new voice and rally behind somebody.
So if that's the case, if all the manager is a babysitter now, let's not hire a manager.
Stop calling them a babysitter. They're not babysitter. You're
therapist, whatever. If they're being therapists, then forget about hiring a manager. Bring everybody's mommy onto the bench, and that's who they'll ask. Mommy, what am I?
The problem though is you have the guys that do the data. You have you have people that do the data. You have people that run the numbers and tell them what the correct move is for the guy, and all that's done perfectly fine. It is. And it's killing it because there are great moves right now. And a lot of times the moves end up working out in everybody's favor. And then you need somebody that sits there and walks in every day and pats them on the back. How are you doing today? This is Terry Francona. This is the thing you love about Terry Francona is what they're trying to find in all of these guys. Terry Francona isn't the perfect make every move, everything's perfect on the field guy. Terry Francona is the locker room guy. And that's why he keeps having jobs. And this is the thing. We want to trash like the front offices for finding Terry Francona, but we want to love Terry Francona for being Terry Francona.
Right.
Like, they're trying to find Terry Francona. And that's why Craig Counsell, that's why all these managers, Dave Roberts has a job because he's damn good. People loving him.
Alex
But
Cora.
Aaron Boone. Fuck, Aaron Boone. The only reason Aaron Boone has a job is because you walk in the locker room and guys love him.
Okay.
Like
But
he's their best friend at the same time their mentor, and that's what you want out of these guys.
But here's the bigger problem that I have with this whole situation, and I'm going to end after this, is we saw this coming.
Yeah.
We saw this coming. In spring training, we
we
knew.
didn't see 15-31.
Okay, but we saw that they were not going to be nearly as good.
Yes,
so
100%.
You want to call it they should be 25-26?
I mean, right now it would work out to be, whatever it is. 500.
Okay.
500. Whatever that is. 500.
So that's 5 more wins. So you're telling me, like, he's responsible for those 5 wins when we all knew that before the season they were not going to be as good. That's the problem that I have with this, is we knew this was fait accompli. We knew this was happening. We knew
they weren't going to be great. And that's what frustrated all of us, is they have an opportunity to be great for years to come, but we knew this year they weren't going to be great. Now, we also didn't think they were going to be bad. And that's where I look at and go, that's the manager.
Yeah.
They became bad because of the manager, and they're not great because of the GM. They're in a weird spot. They're not the Pirates, where we also knew they had a bad team and Ben Cherington's not making the moves, but Ben Cherington's hands are like this the whole time too, like completely tied. This team should have the reins to an empty checkbook. I'm starting to wonder if the new ownership is actually putting the reins on Mike Elias and saying, hey, bump it down a little bit. And that's what I'm starting to wonder. That's the real question. Is it not Mike Elias? Because if you actually look at the moves, he lowered budget and made moves for players. Brought in Japanese player, brought in Charlie Morton. didn't like the move, but brought in Charlie Morton. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that move. I think that's a lot lower. Kyle Gibson. They're bringing in like a Gary Sanchez. I don't get it, but I get it. Tyler O'Neill. There's some solid things here. And you're okay. They're trying to piece together, but they didn't spend on the 2 big pieces. Maybe it's actually ownership, and like we thought we were going to get this fun, great ownership group, and they actually end up being worse than Angelos.
It's very possible. Now, we're talking about Mike Elias saying what I believe is a terrible job that he's done.